Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now because today we're diving deep into one of the most iconic sports brands on the planet. We're talking about a brand that's dressed Olympic champions, football legends, and hip-hop icons. A brand with a leaping cat logo you've definitely seen before. That's right, we're exploring Puma. And trust me, this story has everything. Sibling rivalry that literally split a town in half, a comeback that nobody saw coming, and collaborations that changed the game forever. So grab your favorite sneakers, get comfortable, and let's jump in. To understand Puma, we need to go back to 1920s Germany. Picture a small town called Herzogenaurach. It's quiet, traditional, and about to become the center of one of the biggest feuds in business history. Two brothers, Rudolf and Adolf Dassler, are making shoes in their mother's laundry room. These guys were talented. They weren't just making regular shoes, they were innovating. In fact, at the 1936 Berlin Olympics, Jesse Owens wore their shoes when he won 4 gold medals. Think about that. Two brothers from a tiny German town made shoes for one of the greatest Olympic performances ever. But here's where it gets dramatic. After World War II, the brothers had a falling out. Nobody knows the exact reason. Some say it was personal, some say it was business. But whatever happened, it was bad. So bad that in 1948, they split up. Rudolf crossed to the other side of the river and founded his own company, Puma. Adolf stayed and created, you guessed it, Adidas. The town of Herzogenaurach became divided, literally. There was the Puma side and the Adidas side. People wouldn't shop at stores that sold the rival brand. Families were divided. This wasn't just business competition, this was personal. And this rivalry, it fueled both brands to innovate like crazy. So Puma had something to prove. And boy, did they prove it. In 1962, Pelé, the greatest footballer of all time, wore Puma boots in the World Cup. That image of Pelé tying his Puma King boots before the final? Iconic. That was marketing gold before marketing as we know it even existed. Puma became the brand for football. The Puma King boot became legendary, worn by players like Eusebio, Johan Cruyff, and Diego Maradona. But Puma didn't stop at football. In 1968, Tommy Smith won Olympic gold in the 200 meters wearing Puma suedes. You've probably seen the photo. The Black Power salute on the podium. Those were Puma shoes. The Puma suede became more than an athletic shoe. It became a symbol. Then something interesting happened. The suede crossed over from the track to the streets. Hip-hop culture in New York adopted them. Break dancers loved them because of their grip and style. Suddenly, Puma wasn't just a sports brand. They were a culture brand. The 70s and 80s were golden for Puma. They were everywhere. Sports, music, fashion. They had it all. But then, the 90s hit, and Puma hit a wall. Nike was dominating with Air Jordans and aggressive marketing. Adidas was making a comeback with hip-hop endorsements. Reebok was everywhere. And Puma, they were losing their identity. They tried to compete in performance sports, but couldn't match Nike's budgets. They tried to stay relevant in lifestyle, but seemed outdated. By the mid-90s, Puma was struggling. Sales were dropping. The brand felt lost. Some people thought Puma was done, another legacy brand that couldn't adapt. But here's the thing about Puma. They've always been fighters. In the early 2000s, Puma made a bold decision. Instead of trying to out-Nike in performance sports, they would focus on something different. The intersection of sport, lifestyle, and fashion. They brought in a designer named Jill Sander. They started collaborating with fashion brands. They repositioned themselves as the stylish sports brand. But the real game changer? Collaborations. In 2014, Rihanna became Puma's creative director and global ambassador. Let me tell you, this changed everything. The Fenty Puma line, especially the Creeper sneaker, became one of the hottest shoes on the planet. They sold out instantly. Rihanna brought Puma back to cool. Then came more collaborations. Jay-Z relaunched the Puma suede. They partnered with fashion designers like Alexander McQueen and Mihara Yasuhiro. They worked with brands like Ferrari and Porsche. Puma stopped trying to be like everyone else and leaned into what made them unique: heritage, style, and cultural credibility. On the sports side, they signed athletes who matched their vibe. Usain Bolt, the fastest man alive, became the face of Forever Faster. Neymar brought football flair. They sponsored exciting teams and athletes who weren't just winners but had personality. Today, Puma is thriving. They're valued at billions, they're growing faster than many competitors, and they've reclaimed their spot as one of the coolest brands in sports and fashion. So what is it about Puma that works? First, heritage with edge. Puma has over 75 years of history, but they don't feel like a museum piece. They honor their classics like the suede and the Clyde while constantly reinventing them. Second, they understand culture. Puma doesn't just sponsor athletes, they partner with cultural icons. From hip-hop to high fashion, they get that sport and culture are intertwined. Third, they take risks. When everyone else was playing it safe, Puma put Rihanna in charge of a product line. That's bold. That collaboration approach has become their superpower. Fourth, sustainability. Puma is pushing hard on environmental responsibility. Their re-suede sneaker is fully biodegradable. They're using recycled materials. They're not perfect, but they're trying, and that matters to today's consumers. Fifth, they're fast. That Forever Faster slogan isn't just marketing. Puma moves quickly, from design to market. They spot trends and act on them before competitors. Here's what I love about the Puma story. It's about resilience. They started in a laundry room. They survived a family split that would destroy most businesses. They dominated sports in the 60s and 70s. They nearly disappeared in the 90s. And then they reinvented themselves completely. That's inspiring, right? Whether you're building a business, working on a creative project, or just trying to figure out your own path, there's something to learn here. When things don't work, don't just work harder at the same thing. Adapt. Find what makes you different and lean into it. Puma didn't try to be Nike. They became the best version of Puma. So here's my question for you. What's your favorite Puma moment? Is it a classic suede you owned? Watching Usain Bolt break records? Rocking those Fenty creepers? Drop a comment below. I want to hear your Puma stories. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, here's what I need you to do. Hit that subscribe button right now. We're building a community of people who love stories like this, stories about brands, culture, and the people who changed the game. When you subscribe, you're joining that community. Turn on notifications so you never miss when we drop a new video. We've got some incredible brand stories coming up that you won't want to miss. And give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new today. It helps the algorithm show this to more people who'd enjoy it, and it lets me know what content you want more of. We're just getting started here, and I want you to be part of this journey. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Until then, keep chasing your goals, stay curious, and remember, be forever faster. I'll see you in the next one. This is Business Explained.